Today I'm at Mills CNC. I've come to look at this machine, brand new Lynx 2600 SY. I'm going to catch up with Tony Dale and find out why they've introduced this machine and what it's capable of. Tony, always great to come to Mills CNC and see you. It's been a while. How's things been for the company?
Well, actually, Paul, yeah, very well. I think, if we put last year behind us, the year started well, and there really seems to be a real bounce in the market at the moment. I think a lot of people put projects on hold, which now it's like, let's get it back on board. So, yeah, at the moment, business levels are really good.
Good stuff. Now, we're here today to look at a machine range which has just been launched. Can you tell us about what we've got behind us here and what we're talking about?
Well, this is the Lynx 2600. It comes in two models, the Y-axis and the sub-spindle variant. It's an evolution really of the Lynx series, because at the moment it only goes up to an 8-inch chuck, so this is now a 10-inch chucked version with 81mm bar capacity. Brand new model, just landed really last week, a little bit later due to shipping than it was supposed to, but is already sort of hitting the market by storm, and the first two that have landed have sold.
What I always find with the Lynx is doing a bit of research. It's been a brilliant seller, hasn't it, for Doosan? I mean, this will sell on reputation alone as well, won't it?
It will. The Lynx is its own brand within the Doosan range, really. There are in the region of 40,000 Lynxes installed worldwide. Very, very popular machine tool, so when they launch new models, they have to get it right, because like you say, it does sell on reputation, and we have to keep that legacy going.
And with it being a new model in a sense, there's a few features that I've seen that are really interesting about it, one of which is the bar capacity on this. That's quite something. Is it 81 millimeters?
Yeah, 81mm bar capacity. We do envisage that many people will purchase this with a bar feed, and the machine comes equipped then with the remnant catcher on the machine tool, the parts catcher, the output conveyor, pneumatic parts ejector with coolant wash. So it's fully prepped for your customer that wants to feed that diameter bar.
And that's quite some diameter. I mean, there must be things that you have to consider when you're bar feeding bar of that diameter. Could, depending on the material, it could be quite heavy, getting it through the headstock. So it needs to be quite a solid and robust structure to cope with that, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, obviously it's a solid cast bed machine tool. It does run on linear motion guideways for speed. I think coupled with the turret itself, it's a servo-driven turret. It's got half position index, so this is a 24 position index turret, which obviously again means you can get more tools on the turret, certainly for complex bar-fed parts. But ultimately, you want your job off complete. And that's the whole idea, really, that on that output conveyor, your components are coming off complete.
Yeah, I mean, is it fair to say that when you look at this machine, certainly in the configuration we've got here with the sub-spindle, because it is available without that too, isn't it? You can have this as a tailstock. But this is really then aimed at that one-hit machining environment, isn't it? Value for money, competitively priced. So engineers that do want to get those parts off quickly without interfering with them, this could be a good solution.
Well, exactly. If it's bar, that's fine. Or even if it's billet loading, we have our own automation systems that you can, couple to this machine tool and load your billets. You could load bars in, or you could unload the finished components with a robot. It's quite flexible, I mean, all we've got to do is probably put an auto door on the machine and you're good to go. So yes, you're future-proofing yourself as well with future automation options that you could actually retrofit to this machine tool.
And what I want to do, Tony, is look at a few of the features about this machine that are quite synonymous with Doosan in a lot of the models. And one of them is the grease lubrication. This is something you often mention when I talk to you about your models. What's the advantage to the user by having that on these machines?
Yeah, well, all the latest models from Doosan for a couple of years now are all coming in with the grease slideway lubrication. And what this effectively does, it's clean to the environment. You're disposing of less coolant because your coolant lasts for longer, because of the tramp oil is not constantly going into your coolant, so you're not skimming it off, so your coolant lasts for longer. The grease cartridges last for about 6 months. They're very economical to change, and yes, you're not using as much slideway oil as well. Now, I should say this machine also does have oil lubrication, but it's for the air oil lubrication mechanism within the driven turret. So the patented live tool drive mechanism is actually cooled by an air oil mist and that's a feature of this machine as well.
Yeah, because I'm sure you'd argue that the turret here, even with the additional stations, there's other features to it that make it stand out too, isn't there? Including that.
Correct, it's 5,000 RPM, and because of that air oil mist, you can actually run your live tour operations for longer.
I want to now talk about this control, because this is, it looks a great control, I have to say, from the front, but what are the differences with this now compared to what you used to offer?
Well, this is the latest Fanuc control, which has got the iHMI touch on it. So there's quite a few functions, app-based functions within the control for maintenance, operator friendliness, machining cycles built within this. But also then it comes down to the customization that Doosan do with that control to make it easy for the operator. So larger graphics now, more functions, just making it a lot more user-friendly for the operator.
Well, we see the machine here with the sub-spindle, but what are the other options when it comes to the configuration?
This new model basically comes in two variants, which is a tailstock, fully programmable NC tailstock version, or the sub-spindle version. It's got a y-axis stroke of 105mm total, so that's plus and minus 52.5mm, and those are the two variants that are available. I should say long term this range will grow, and other models will be available. However, at the moment, and we're bringing a couple of these in every month, and as business grows, that will increase.
The machine's one thing, but the backup and the support is also key.
Correct.
Maybe tell us where Mills CNC can add value in that area too, to people buying these machines.
Well, obviously Mills CNC backup and support is a large part of what we do, and anyone that purchases a machine from Mills will have the, I suppose, the confidence knowing that they've got a full team of engineers and help desk engineers to back that up, whether it's servicing or whether it's maybe automation for future upgrades to the machine tool, whether it's finance. We offer the full package at Mills.